Good evening, YouTube. This is Johnny. Time to make a video. It is a Monday night here in West Michigan. It is July the 22nd. It is a Monday night. It is 7:38 at night. Very nice day today. It was in the 70s. I mowed the lawn, even though I was feeling kind of sick. Having a cup of tea. And I'm going to get right to it. I am going to show you the books that I bought at the Friends of the Library Used Book Sale. And some of these I got at the Book Nook today. As you all know, on Mondays, I volunteer at the Book Nook from 10 to 1. But most of these books I got at the Friends of the Library Used Book Sale last week. So let's just go. I'm not going to go into detail about these books. I'm just going to show them, and here we go. First book I'm going to show is a memoir. As you all know, I collect biographies, memoirs, letters. This is My Father is a book, a memoir of Bernard Mabid. He was a Bernard Mabid. He was a writer at the time of Saul Bellows, John Updike. I collect his writings. This is his memoir written by Jana Mad Smith. I'm going to go through biographies first. I picked up this biography today on Flaubert by Frederick Brown. I didn't have this in my collection. I collect biographies, literary studies, writings of Flaubert. I didn't have that. Then I bought at the Friends of the Library Used Book Sale, Tom, The Unknown Tennessee Williams. This is a biography by Lyle Leverich. Tennessee Williams was a very famous playwright. He wrote The Streetcar Named Desire, A Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, The Glass Menagerie. I have the short stories of Tennessee Williams. I have his memoir, and this is a biography on him. What other I have here is biographies. I have Gail Godwin, The Making of a Writer, Journals from 1961 to 1963. Gail Godwin is one of my favorite writers, and I found her memoirs, or her journals, 1961, 1963. The Making of a Writer by Thomas Godwin. And then I bought this biography on Alfred Stieglitz. He had a relationship with Georgia O'Keeffe, the very famous Southwest painter. He was a very famous photographer. Georgia O'Keeffe and the Rise of the Avant-Garde in America. This is by Richard Winland. So I got that. And what else I have here? Let's see. Any more biographies? I do have this journal. I'll show you. It's over here. This is the Journals of Ayn Rand, edited by David Harmon. Now, I have an Ayn Rand collection, biographies, her novels, her writings, etc., etc., etc. I have not read her, but I've always been kind of fascinated with her and hope someday to get into her. So let's go to novels. Well, short stories and novels. I got this today at the library, at the Book Nook. Richard Russo's Tractatory. These are stories. And then I got today at the Book Nook, this is by Janette Winterson, Oranges Are Not the Only Fruit. This is a novel by her. And I picked this novel up. I got at the Book Nook today, The Dud Avocado by Elaine Dundy. And I picked up these essays and occasional writings of William Gaddis, The Rush for Second Place. This is science fiction by Philip K. Dick, The Scanner Darkly. This is a literary study on the poet T.S. Eliot by Stephen Spender. These are short stories by James Salter, Dusk, and Other Stories. This is an essay by F. Scott Fitzgerald on booze. This is a little hardback I got at the Book Nook today. Motor Flight Through France by Edith Wharton. This is travel writing. Kind of cute little thing, isn't it? Picked up another one of these. These are letters. Gleanings in France by James Fillmore Cooper. This is letters when he visited France. The very famous American writer. He wrote The Last of the Mohicans. This is James Fillmore Cooper. Selected letters, Gleanings in France. This is a novel by Morel Spark, The Manderbaum Gate. The Manderbaum Gate. It's going to fall over. Very careful here. This is Lost Classics, writers on books loved and lost, overlooked, overread, unavailable, stolen, extinct, or otherwise out of commission. These are different stories by different writers. Books they loved, books they lost, or overlooked, or underread, or unavailable. You know, I like books on books. That's why I got this. Picked up a crime novel. I've been collecting James Lee Burke, The Glass Rainbow. This is a Dave Robick novel. I've been collecting him. The stories all take place in Louisiana, out in the swamps and the bayous. I picked it, I never have read John Le Carte, but these are three of his famous espionage novels. Call for the Dead, A Murder of Quality, The Spy Who Came from the Cold. So I got those. Then I picked up this Chinese classic from the 18th century, translated out of Chinese, A Dream of Red Mansions by, I can't even begin to pronounce these. Kaio X Cohen, I don't know how to pronounce his name. But I was very surprised when I cataloged this in my library thing. 500 people, well, I mean, a lot of people who I consider interesting libraries and friends had this, and I've never heard of it. The Dream of the Red Mansions, a classic novel in 4 volumes by, I can't even pronounce it, but I'll put it underneath there. So I got this. Then I picked up a crime novel by Patricia Highsmith, The Cry of the Owl. I collect her. I have biographies, other books about her. So I got that. Then I picked up another volume of essays and criticism, More Matter, by John Updike. I didn't have this one. I have the other ones, these big volumes where it's like, you know, he goes through like essays on like John Cheever, Edmund Wilson, Edith Wharton, Nathaniel Hawthorne. Just, I like reading about writers and books and essays, so I got that. Then I picked up this big art book, Boccaccio and American Art. These are like his influence Picasso's art on American art. And so I got that. Then I picked up this novel by Michael Frayn, The Trick of It, a novel. Picked this up today at the Book Nook. I collect the writings of Peter Gay, and this is Education of the Senses, Volume 1, The Bourgeoisie Experience, Victoria to Freud. So I got that. Picked up at the Book Nook today, The Empire of Cotton, A Global History by Stephen Berkert. I picked this up at the Friends of the Library Used book sale, The Book in the Renaissance by Andrew Pettigrew. I've been reading his book on the golden age of book selling in the Dutch Republic, but he did one on the book and the Renaissance. And then I picked up American Sea Writing, a literary anthology. And then I picked up, this is by Frank O'Hara. He's a New York City poet back in the 50s. He was also he was involved in the Museum of Modern Art. This is a book called Art Chronicles, 1954 to 1966, where he talks about the New York painters, abstract expressionists. And this is a book that kind of just looked interesting. Intellectual Adventures of Ancient Man, an essay on speculative thought in the ancient Near East. There's a chapter in here on God as seen from the ancient Hebrews, so I got that. These are stories by Yukuri Harakaya Murakami, Elephant Vanishes Stories. John Updike, The Cambridge Companion to John Updike, edited by Stacy Oster. The Writings from the New Yorker by E.B. White. For the first time in book form, a selection of E.B. White's short pieces and essays, edited by Rebecca M. Dale. I'm really into E.B. White. And this is by Emma Donahue, Astray. These are stories. This is translated, I think, out of French by Roland, Barthes, Mythologies. These are like little essays written by him, little pieces of writing. This is a book called The New York Chronology, the ultimate compendium of events, people, and anecdotes from the Dutch, which is the founding of New York City, which was called New Amsterdam, to the present. I collect books on New York City, Paris, ancient cities, Jerusalem, and I picked this one up. And then last of all, I got today from the Book Nook this. I bought it from the Friends of the Library book sale. The Encyclopedia of Ireland, edited by Brian Lalor. It's just all about the history, culture, everything about Ireland you could think of. And I collect these. I have the Encyclopedia of London, Encyclopedia of French Literature, Encyclopedia of New England. You know, I have all kinds of. I like books like this, big books. It's only $2. So I know I mispronounced and slaughtered and sputtered, but I wanted to show these books so I can get them down to the lower level, clear them out. As you all know, I'm a book collector. I'm not really. I did keep some of these out. I will look at that. I will plan to. For example, I did plan to keep this one out, the Dud of the Avocado. This is a New York Review Classics, and I've been looking at it, and I was really pleased to find it. It only cost me $1 for this. And what else I was going to keep out? I was going to keep out the Global Empire of Cotton, A Global History. I'll keep that. I have been reading this one, Lost Classics. And I do plan to keep out the Bourgeois Experience, Victoria to Freud. See, I already have my bookmarker in it. So these I keep up here. The other ones I plan to take down into the lower level and try to find someplace to put them. So I hope you're having... I also going to keep out this. Angels, Oranges Are Not the Only Fruit by Janette Winterson. So that's Friends of the Library Used Book Sale, books from the Book Nook. And yeah, I'm going to go to a book sale this coming Thursday. But usually this one is at a small little library in Hudsonville. And I might not even find anything, but I don't know. I just can't, we can't resist going to used book sales. So I hope you're having a good week. This is a Monday. Today I've been reading basically George Orwell's 1984. That's what I read today. I mean, I mowed the lawn. I've been feeling kind of sick, I don't know what it is. I'm overtired. I don't know what it is. But I wanted to show these books, get them down to the lower level. And until next time, bye.